This is the Ninja's Way podcast, where we talk all things ninja industry, ranging from top tier athletes to the local ninja entrepreneur. Listen to their journey to success as they conquer obstacles in ninja and in life. This is the Ninja's Way. Welcome back, everybody, to the Ninja's Way podcast in the Ninja Network Facebook group. Today, I'm here with Daniel from the Ninja Athlete, and I'm super excited to talk to him about his company.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Love the Ninja Way, and I'm glad to be on the side of educating ninjas all around.
Let's hop right in. Why don't you just give me the story about how you got into the Ninja Athlete and what do you feel like it brings to the industry?
I guess my ninja entrepreneurship began back in 2017. My professional career as a personal trainer when I graduated college back in 2011. I thought that's what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I've had a huge passion for health and wellness. And just graduating with that degree, I just wanted to pursue helping people and achieving their weight loss goals and just being active. I was an athlete growing up. And as the years went by, I knew that I got burnt out on personal training and was trading time for money because you can only train so many people throughout the day. And just after I left the training industry, I saw this ad on Facebook back in the day about starting your own business. And it was social media marketing and basically doing Facebook ads, Instagram ads for like local businesses. And that caught my attention. It was an ad that I fell for. And that really started my entrepreneurship. And I started my own little social media marketing agency with a friend, and I named it Digital Media Ninja. And the reason why is because I wanted to excel at that particular skill or activity, or specifically digital media, because that's essentially what a ninja is, right? And so I wanted to be the best at it because everything I've always aligned myself. I've always wanted to exceed what it is that I align myself with. And so that's where the whole ninja came into play. It was just on the digital media side. And ever since then, I've just advancing my career with working at different agencies and just really learned the ins and outs of the digital media industry. And that's evolved into starting this new venture, which has been a little over a year now, which is why we're here today. And back in the day before the pandemic hit, I knew I always wanted to pursue something, obviously in the health and wellness industry, because that's where I got my degree. And since I have this digital marketing background now with Facebook ads and SEO, website development, and everything that encompasses digital media, I wanted to do something in the health and wellness, right? I didn't want to go back to training, but I wanted to pursue something. So obviously we live in a world now where people can go online and buy shirts or basically start a business without having a storefront. And so one of my favorite brands is Alpha Elite and a few others like Gymshark and stuff like that. And so I was thinking of all these names like Ninja Fit Ninja, whatever, all of them were taken. And I thought about Alpha Elite and I was like, what about Ninja Elite? And then that was taken. And so I just added the T and it was Ninja Athlete, right? So it's obviously a ninja and athlete together. So I bought that domain 2019, haven't done anything with it. And you see all these videos online about just there's never a right time to start a business. Just go ahead and start. Not everything's going to align perfectly. And just one of those videos caught my attention one day. And I was like, you know what? I'll just go ahead and do it. I don't want to look back 30 years from now and say or regret that I didn't start this. And so that's how Ninja Athlete came to be. It's been, I guess, a little over 2 years since I really put it into motion with actually forming the LLC and whatever. And I remember putting Ninja Athlete on a shirt one time and wearing it to the airport. And a few people had come up to me, actually 3 people had come up to me and asked me where I'd got that shirt. Hey, Ninja Athlete, where'd you get that? And I said, it's really just one of one. I just put it on a shirt. And yeah, ever since then, that kind of like really sparked, or that really was a sign from the universe or God saying, you know what, this is probably something that you should pursue and you should run with it. And because nobody in my life has ever come up and asked me where I'd gotten a shirt or, hey, where'd you get that? And so that was my sign itself. And that was been a little over a year and a half now. And so that is what got it started, obviously started moving it forward. And then, so obviously we have a digital marketing background and website development. That's where I got started with the sites. And it's been just trucking along ever since. So obviously with the name itself, Ninja Athlete, is to be the best athlete that you could possibly be with excelling at whatever it is that you align yourself with. Obviously with those 2 names, everybody knows what a ninja is and an athlete is. So I think it went well together.
Yeah, and I have to tell you, you sent me a bag of stuff and I got my own gear. I honestly should be wearing it right now. I don't know why I'm not, but I've been wearing it to the gym
And I've had so many people come up and talk to me. I've been going to the same gym at the same time, and you see the same like set of like 20 people or whatever. And I'm doing the ninja stuff, like I'm doing the pull-ups and the handstands and the things. And this shirt has now created so many cool conversations that I've been able to have with people in the gym. And I can tell them about what my version of being a ninja is. So that's just been really cool to have that experience and just to be able to share more of my story with people that are in my local community just because of a shirt. And that just sparked that conversation. Who do you think the ideal avatar for somebody who is the person that buys Ninja Athlete?
That's a good question. And my whole vision of this was if Alpha Elite, which most people are aware of now, and Gymshark had a baby, it would be Ninja Athlete, right? And it's those that just continue to improve themselves every single day, right? Kaizen, which is one of the shirts that I have, was one of the ninja or Japanese philosophies, which ninjas are essentially from Japan. And yeah, it's just the process of becoming 1% better every day. And that's our whole philosophy. And that's the ninja philosophy. If you think about the spiritual practices of a ninja and like Ninja Warrior and everything else, I've learned a lot just with obviously because they're warriors in a way and assassins. But if you think about what a ninja is from a noun and a verb, it's just to excel every single day. And Atomic Habits is one of my favorite books. I read it back in the pandemic. And it's literally just the process of improving that 1% better every day. So 37% on a yearly basis. And so, yeah, people who strive to continuously improve every day, whatever it is that they align themselves with. You can be a mom, you can be an athlete, whatever you align yourself with, be the best at that and have passion for it. That's the whole philosophy of just being a ninja itself. And obviously with the athlete aspect of it, it's just continuously improving on your skill set, on your mindset, and just becoming a better person spiritually.
Yeah, I love that. You have faith-based specific clothing, and that's personally my favorite. How do you feel like your faith and your relationship with God has affected your journey of being an entrepreneur?
I give all glory to God. I wouldn't be here for that reason, right? And I always go back to why we're here as individuals and why we're here as humans. One thing that really resonated with me a while back, and I heard this from Gary Vaynerchuk a few years ago, and it was, what are the odds of becoming a human being, right? I thought about that number, and it's 1 in 400 trillion, right? Which is almost impossible. It's a miracle, right? Just the fact that you and I are talking right now, that we are living in the flesh, are examples of us being miracles, right? So obviously there is a God. We're here for a reason, right? We're here to serve a purpose.
Yeah.
And that just got me thinking, what is my purpose? Obviously, with how Ninja Athlete came to be and just why people saw that in a shirt, I think that this is my purpose to spread the ninja way and to start them young, right? Obviously, this is one of those things where there's ninja gyms all across the country, hundreds of them, and we need more of them, right? Because if people and if kids start adopting that spiritual mindset from an early age, then it translates into their adult life, right? We're living in the times that we are right now. And I think most people are shifting away from that, but I think it's time to bring it back, right? To bring God more in our lives and to just really think about why we're here as individuals. But if you think about just a higher being and why we're here. And so I think that is super important to me. So yeah, it's played a huge impact on just the brand itself and going back to my roots.
Thanks for sharing your testimony. And yes, the world needs a revival. We need more Jesus in the world. Brings me to my next question of how do you come up with the designs for your clothing? And is there a particular process you go through? What is that like?
Yeah, so another great question. So I am not a graphic designer by any means. So my background is stemming from the whole digital media kind of umbrella is search engine optimization, right? SEO. So I look at a lot of keyword volume in searches and what people are actively looking for in terms of Bible verses and scriptures and stuff like that. So that honestly is what really prompts me on, okay, what should I put on a shirt? What are the most actively searched for Bible verses? So I have a whole Christian athlete Bible verse section, which is like the top athlete Bible verses. And so, yeah, I put that on a shirt because those are most searched for. But in terms of the graphic design, I remember when I first launched the site, I just wanted to put a couple of designs up that I created on Canva, and they were just really rudimentary. And so now I actually have a graphic design service, which it's called Design Pickle. I'm not sure if anybody's ever heard of that, but it's a monthly subscription. You get as many graphic designs as you want. You give them an idea. So I basically just see a shirt that I like, maybe it's a graphic or whatever. And I say, I want that element, I want that, I want this verse. And so I give them just an example of what I want. I send them like a quick video, and the next day they come back with certain mock-ups. And so it's just as easy as that. So that's what essentially I've been doing with all of the designs that I've come up with. They're definitely not mine that I've whipped up. It's a service that I use. But yeah, so I look at like what's trending, like top phrases that people use in the gym, discipline quotes, and then I just put them on a shirt because I already know it's actively being searched for. So I'll basically reverse engineer instead of trying to figure out what people are liking. I already look to what's trending as far as certain quotes. The way that these graphic designers like to work now is just me sending them a video and what I like. I'll give them a couple of examples and I'll give them, okay, I want these 3 phrases on it, and then just go to work. Let their creative mind work. So yeah, I was doing that right before we got on because I have to submit designs before a certain time because they're located in the Philippines, or some of are located here in the States. But yeah, I've got to get mine in before 6 in order to have it rendered for the next day.
That's cool. But I love that there's intention behind it of what
Yeah.
are the most top search things? What are people really looking for? And I think your background in digital marketing in that space taught you to go and find those things. And you spoke to earlier that I was like, you saw this ad that just changed the trajectory of your life, basically, to throw you into this world of entrepreneurship. And if you guys aren't following Ninja Athlete on Instagram, you guys got to go check him out. And you've done an amazing job of taking these pieces of content that are viral and these big names, Hormozi, Gary Vee, these people that are out there and they're providing value to their community, and people are like really searching for this type of content. You're going and repurposing this content. And I think that's probably been one of your secret sauces to your Instagram growth, of leveraging these people's ideas and where people are already looking in the vein, especially of looking at the person as who is the person, what are they watching? If they want to get 1% better every day, who are they out there watching? And so
Exactly.
done a really great job of going and taking those pieces and cohesively putting them together to help build your brand.
Yeah, because at first I didn't have a whole, because if you think about like how a brand, they're going to showcase a lot of their products. If a new one comes out, new drops or whatever. And it's just me working by myself, right? So it's not like I have an entire marketing team or like I have photo shoots here and there. So I wanted to start something that people could be behind, a whole community of ninjas. But then I would look at other Instagram pages and see what they were doing and emulate that. And I've hired different people to repurpose that, but then you learn how to do it yourself, right? There's different apps and social media platforms that help you do this. And then just learning certain hashtag uses. Hashtag uses is actually incredibly important. Most people don't realize that just by understanding which ones to use. And if you follow certain creators that actually show you exactly how to do that and keep it within a certain hashtag. There's Instagram is one of the ones that I've figured out, but like TikTok and all these other ones are like really, they have their own algorithm settings. But yeah, I wanted to build a whole community around like people that were searching for, because I was already sharing this content on my own personal page. Like I'd see a inspirational video, and I'm like, oh, let me share it. And I was like, why don't I just do this for my page and just put my own branding around it? Like I'm already sharing this stuff and it's shareable content. So people are going to naturally share it anyway. So I remember when the first one went viral and I was like, what is going on? It just kept getting shared. I was like, this is what it's like to be an influencer. Even though I was in my own content, I was like repurposing other stuff. But then a few others went, viral. And I was like, okay, so this is the secret sauce, right? Just short clips, something that's inspirational, something that people can reshare, and trending audio, you want to make sure and use the audio as your own, because then people can reuse that audio. So that's how you get more exposure. So I was figuring all this stuff out as the year progressed. But yeah, obviously every single day we learn something new with the platform, how to use certain features or how to use different apps. And so that's one of the things that I strive to, I'll try to learn something new in terms of like digital marketing, like platforms, because AI is obviously taking over now. And there's a lot that you can do there. Yeah, I'm just constantly improving and trying to learn new ways.
Yeah, man. And just talking this out, it's what an age we live in. Oh my gosh, it's crazy where you could just start a business at the drop of a hat. And what's this digital space that we live in is crazy. And the people who are not taking advantage of it right here, right now, you're gonna be left behind. You're gonna be left behind. And people who watch this podcast or listen to this podcast, they may be gym owners, people within the ninja industry specifically. And so you brought up AI. So I want to get your opinion. You have a lot of experience with SEO and optimizing websites and that kind of thing. Do you feel like with the advent of AI that these things are going to become more relevant? Or do you think that it's like even more now, like SEO and optimizing your website is even more important than it has been in the past?
1,000%, right? And I have this discussion with gym owners on a daily basis. Like my full-time job, and actually what funds Ninja Athlete is speaking with gym owners all across the country. And a lot of people don't realize that just having a properly optimized website and having the right keywords in place and the right site architecture when it comes to, because people, they'll visit your site, and if they have a bad experience, they'll hop right off and they'll never come back again. And now SEO is a lot easier than it was 3-4 years ago, right? I used to hire people to write blogs for me, and it was like $80 a blog. And I'm like, man, I know this is important because obviously like content's important for Google to rank you and whatnot for certain keywords. But obviously with the advent of ChatGPT and Gemini and all these AI writing tools, as long as you have what it is that you want to write about, what sort of content ideas, then you can put that, plug it into AI or Gemini, whatever, and have it write it out for you. But the optimization is where all that comes into play, right? Because Google is really looking for a few key things on how it ranks certain blogs or whatever. But I've gotten to the point where now I can rank a blog on page 1 in a matter of a couple of weeks. And that's all done through AI. So I just look at what people are searching for in terms of like fitness content and how to perform a certain lift or whatever. But yeah, this is what I love to do. I love kind of educating people on like site structure. So like just with some of the positions that I've had, working at some high level agencies and a couple of SEO tools that has really led me down this path. 10 years ago, if you would have asked me like what I was going to be doing for the rest of my life, this was not one of those things like SEO, what? And so now I'll put posts on my Instagram. Oh, this is how you like want to site structure your site. You want to be built on WordPress, blah, blah, blah. And now like I'm speaking a different language to some people because they're like, what are you saying? And I'm like, oh, I forgot that I speak a different language now. It's not like fitness content. But yes, going back to your question, like AI, definitely need to embrace it with different tools. And there's certain tools out there that can help optimize your website. But yeah, leverage these because if not, you 1,000% will get left behind. But and there's new tools that come out every single day. So I'm constantly trying to figure out like, oh, which tools I need to incorporate within my business because to be quite honest, there's certain jobs that are going to be completely eliminated. Graphic designers now, right? You could put in a prompt with Dolly or whatever and all these other tools, DaVinci, and it spits out a perfectly well-designed graphic. And I'm like, wow, that would have cost me like $500 to hire a graphic designer. It would have taken me a week to get back. Now I can just do it in 30 seconds. So it's different things like that, but it's cool because 10 years ago, this is non-existent, right? What the first iPhone came out, 20 years ago? So yeah, it's crazy how fast technology moves and just think about where we're going to be at in the next 5 years and what kind of conversations that we're going to have.
You talk a lot about tools and searching for keywords and some of these strategies that you're using. Is there any sites or tools that you just swear by that you're like, oh yeah, this is the bee's knees to go and find these types of things?
What I typically use most often, and this is a tool because I worked at this company. It's called SEMrush, and if anybody knows what that is, it's a high-level SEO tool. But there's a lot of free tools out. There's Google Keyword Planner. There's a lot of other cheaper ones because that's an expensive one. But that kind of gives me an idea on what's trending and what people are searching for and what's going to be easy to rank for on Google, right? Because you just don't want to put a blog up just to put a blog up. You want to make sure it's going to rank really well and quickly. And that kind of gives you like a projection on how fast it'll rank. And then there's certain other ones like SEO Meta One Click that shows you how a site's supposed to be structured. And just so you guys know, if people listening to this, if you have a website right now, whatever you're built on, Wix, Squarespace, WordPress, you want to have one heading. And this is going back to the technical aspect of it. Because I see this with most gym owners and most people that just don't. I actually learned this at my last agency. So this is like all new information that I've been incorporating within my own sites. And I was like, wow, I didn't even know any of this stuff until a year ago. But when it comes to heading structures like H1 and H2, and I'm like speaking technical now, always have one. Make sure it's the title of the page. Okay. That's just one little tidbit I want to give. So if you have a website that's a Ninja website, whatever, make sure it's the name of your company, right? And make sure it's, that's because most people who have a website know what an H1 is. They see it on the back end, like, how should I do that? Don't have more than one because you're going to confuse Googlebot as to what to rank that website for. But I can get into more technical stuff, but I wanted to give just that one little tidbit because that's something I always see. And I've just noticed it with a lot of Ninja gyms. I'm looking at one right now and it has 6 H1s on the homepage. And I'm like, oh, like, we need to just go. These are just things that you just don't know, but most people they're educated or just know, oh, why is it that important? It's because you're going to confuse Googlebot because that's all it really is. But SEMrush, SEO Meta One Click, Google Keyword Planner, and then there's a couple of different SEO tools you can look at. But yeah, those are the ones I swear by and I use on a daily basis.
You talk about how you've seen a lot of Ninja Gym sites and this kind of thing. So, what would you recommend to Ninja Gyms, how they can maybe position themselves with their online presence to just be better? Because I've also looked at a lot of Ninja Gym sites and they suck, guys. I'm just telling suck. Okay. So, what would you recommend?
One of the things I always recommend, and I swear by this now because of my last agency, this is one of the things that I learned is build your websites on WordPress. And the reason why I'm telling you this is because if you want some longevity and success with your website, Wix and Squarespace are good starter if you're getting something up or whatever you want, but it's not built for longevity, right? And that's just because Google really likes WordPress sites. I see a lot of one, and plus there's not that many integrations or a lot of plugins that are specifically built for Wix or Squarespace or even a GoDaddy website. And most integrations or most tools are built for WordPress. If you wanted to add an e-commerce function, they have plugins for that. If you want to add a calendar plugin, there's certain plugins for that, right? But yeah, that's the first thing I typically look at is the CMS, which is content management system, what a website is built on. If you have a specifically e-commerce site where you're just selling merch, whatever, Shopify is the way to go. So I always say WordPress, if you have a brick and mortar, if you have like an established, a business where people can, visit, WordPress is the way to go. But if you have strictly an online business where you're just selling merch or whatever, Shopify is the way to go. My Digital Media Ninja website, since it's an agency, is built on WordPress, and my Ninja Athlete is built on Shopify. Both of those platforms I'm pretty well familiar with, right? But yeah, Squarespace, Wix, GoDaddy, or even just a custom build site, I would try to get off of that or get on a WordPress site immediately. And then on top of that, when it comes to like SEO stuff, a lot of people don't mention this, but I would start looking this up to have all of your listings up to date or directories. They are used in tandem. Basically, 25 years ago, there used to be one source of information, and that was the phone book, right? Yellow pages, where people used to look up businesses. And the original SEO back in the day was having a business named AAA something, right? AAA plumbing, AAA windows, whatever, because you would show up at the top of that list.
Yeah.
Now, we live in a digital world. There's over 50 online directories or phone books, as we call them. And Google wants to see consistency across the web, right? So you want to have, because I noticed this a lot, especially with Ninja Gyms, they'll have inconsistent listings, which is name, address, and phone number. NAP was what we call it, NAP. And you want to have consistency across all those major directories just to show Google that, oh, this is a really credible business. This is a trustworthy business. Because if you have just one of those that's named incorrectly, maybe it's a former, I don't know, gym that was called something else, right? There's certain directories that have that old business name on there, and it confuses Google. Oh, what do we call this? So just having that consistency across the board. There's certain listing services that you can go through, but that would be one of the main reasons for the near me searches, right? So if somebody's searching for ninja gyms near me or gymnastics near me, anything that's ninja related or training related, especially those near me searches, because Google, Siri, and Alexa are being used now more than ever. You want to make sure that your consistency is across the board when it comes to those directories. So that's with WordPress. So the two things that I typically look at when I'm analyzing a website.
So thanks for sharing some of your little secret sauce. And if you guys
Yeah.
need help with your website, please reach out to him. He's got some awesome opportunities for gym owners with both on the CRM side as well as the website side. I do want to bring this back to the Ninja Athlete brand and your clothing line. Do you have a favorite part of your collection? Is there a favorite shirt or favorite something? If you do, why is that your favorite?
This is actually one of my favorite ones right here, just because of what it means, Kaizen, right? And that's just the process of improving every single day. But I did just come out with another shirt right here, and I have it that I just printed off. And it's actually, I think you saw it yesterday in my story, but it's
Oh,
kind of a cool graphic right here, ninja, kind of the back. I think I may start wearing this often. I put it on my story the other day, but it says like dream, work, achieve right there. So ninja, athlete. And so that's probably going to become my new favorite one just because it is super graphic-y, but a lot of people like really enjoyed that one when I put it on my story yesterday. But yeah, this Kaizen one, because it's super like simple. I'm usually not the one to wear a lot of graphic stuff like that. It's not really my style, but I know that other people like to wear it because I see it in the gym all the time. And I just like simple stuff like this. So this is probably one of I have three of them just for myself. But yeah, if it's like certain words just like this, which is super simple, like has a definition underneath it, I gravitate more towards those. But I know that you have to cater to the entire population. And so that's why I came out with that one there.
Yeah, that one's super dope. I have to grab me one of those. I know that you sponsor athletes. So tell me a little bit about what that's like. What is a sponsor athlete? What does that entail? And what are you looking to achieve with that?
They just have affiliates, which basically they have their own affiliate code, which they can use and they can share that to their audience. And anybody who purchases through their link is 15%. I've started implementing that. But once this gets to the point where it is hopefully the next Gymshark, I'll be able to have actual sponsored athletes where I can pay them a salary like some of these big brands do and everything else like that. But for now, it's just affiliates so they can get their own code, share it, and anybody who is an affiliate sometimes gets free merch every now and then. I'll just send them some stuff and just based on their post frequency, because I am funding this completely out of, pocket. And so I'll usually see who is posting actively and I'm like, you know what? They keep on posting. I'm going to go ahead and send them a couple shirts. And then obviously they get their own like higher discounted rate if they do want to order from the site. So that's just the partnership I have right now. But yeah, hopefully one day I'll actually have sponsored athletes where they'll have a monthly salary and whatnot.
I think that's dope, and everybody's got to start somewhere. And I still think that's awesome to be able to have a little affiliate network within that as well. What challenges have you faced as an entrepreneur, and how have you been able to overcome them?
Ooh, challenges. That's an understatement. So obviously everybody, and this is going to happen and it's going to continue to happen, right? And these are just things that you just have to just embrace. There's going to be failures, right? The more people that you listen to, that's all they talk about is like how many times they have failed, but it's that whenever they overcame that. If I would have just stopped at the first time I failed or like I encountered some sort of bad experience, I would have, stopped a long time ago. And most people, like, if they don't have that ninja mindset, which is another thing I'm coming out with, then they'll just quit at that point. But you have to understand that it's going to happen along the way. And most high level entrepreneurs and really successful ones are going to say, yeah, you're going to fail a lot. In fact, a lot more than when you succeed. So just the challenges itself of starting an online business. I never started an online business. I didn't know how taxes work. And when I first started, I sent a lot of ninja shirts to ninja gyms. And if I did send one to you guys and y'all didn't wear it or y'all didn't show, I'm like, oh man, that sucks. But just knowing that not everybody's going to be supportive, but it's okay. It's fine. But yeah, it's one of those things where you just had to learn like how business works and then just understanding how shipping works because there were sometimes that were people ordering from Germany, right? I didn't know that it was going to be 35, $40 just to ship one shirt across this. I'm not trying to make a whole lot of money, right? And I make a couple dollars on a shirt because of just like operational costs. And I realized that was probably like just maybe it was good to just understand how that works because I lost $25 in that order because I was like, oh, well, I guess I probably need to set up shipping correctly. I'm glad that 100 people didn't order because then I would have been out of. So it's like different things like that that you'll just learn along the way. Oh, I need to set up shipping this way, or maybe put some like discount codes in place. But then obviously a lot of it has to go with like how you set everything up on the back end. But yeah, and then trying to find the right manufacturer, right? I didn't want to have just a low quality shirt or wear it a couple times or wash it and like it starts ripping, right? So having to source manufacturers, having to source screen printing companies and all that stuff. Yeah, I've just learned along the way and I'm still learning, right? Because all I have right now is t-shirts. I am going to come out with the whole like sport tech line and different tanks and whatnot. So like basically think about a Gymshark, they have everything, shirts, they have shorts. And so yeah, it's just trying to source those, but and then having a full-time job on top of that and just having to figure all this stuff out. But those are the challenges that I embrace because I know it's going to happen. And I know I'm eventually going to have a team that can do all this other stuff. But in the meantime, it's good just for me to learn that information because this is not something I was like really taught. My parents were entrepreneurs and you just learn along the way. You align yourself with people who have done it before, who have been successful at that. I'm in a couple of mastermind classes that showed me the way. And I've taken a lot of courses on like how to, optimize your website properly, how to source, how to even talk to manufacturers, because a lot of them are like, I'm going to screw you over in some ways. But yeah, these are just things that you just have to learn as an online entrepreneur. And I know I'm going to still, make some mistakes. I'm here for it. There's going to be maybe a large purchase order in the future. Maybe the order is going to get messed up. I'm hoping that doesn't happen, but it's probably going to happen. So you just have to understand that things are going to happen along the way, but it's not the end of the world.
Absolutely. And it's like embracing that failing forwards mindset is just so important. And I know in my own personal journey, like just recently I had shared just some of the things that I've gone through over the past couple of years, and people are like commenting, oh, this is so inspiring. And as I was just writing it out, I was like, oh, this was painful, feel inspiring or great or anything in the moment. But on the grand scheme, like looking back, it's wow, there has been a lot of accomplishments. And even though maybe ultimately that one thing was a failure or that first business did fail, it's like that built me. It wasn't the business that failed because I am the business. Like the skill sets that I create and the things that I'm able to walk away with and take into that next opportunity, that's what it's all about. And it's like when people are looking to being able to shift their mindset of, oh, I don't want to fail. I don't want the business to fail. It probably is going to. And so it's not about the business failing or succeeding. It's about what you learned throughout that process.
You hit it right on the nail because it's not failures, it's learned experiences because you learn from that. And that's the whole mindset shift. It's perspective, right? Because, yeah, you can see it as a failure, but you learn from that because you know not what to do moving forward. So I always look at that and I'm like, yeah, I guess that is something that I probably shouldn't have done or I'll never do again. And I'm calling them failures now because I forgot who I listened to that kind of shifted that whole perspective and the way that they looked at things.
Daniel, thank you so much for hopping on with me today. How can people get connected with you? How can people find you? And where should we go to find Ninja Athlete?
The website itself, ninjaathlete.com. You can start following the page or whatever. Like I said, I have my own agency, which is Digital Media Ninja. So you can take a look at that. And both my emails are just my name at the domain. So Daniel at Ninja Athlete or Daniel at Digital Media Ninja. Or you can find me just on Instagram, Daniel Rivas, first and last name. But yeah, I'm just here to start to really put that mindset in kids, obviously growing up, right? Because this is not something I was really taught growing up. Yeah, I played sports or whatever, but adopting that mindset is not something I really like came to be until I was late in my 20s after reading The Law of Attraction. That's what started it all. I was 27, and that's what kind of shifted my mindset into start thinking more positively. And then it leads you down the path of learning different things along the way. And Atomic Habits is another great book to read. But yeah, if I would have understood that earlier in life, who knows where I would have been? Maybe I would have continued my whole journey of going down the whole sports route, right? But just adopting that mindset of, hey, you're going to fail. And that's the whole ninja way. You probably fail more often than not, right? Just by the obstacle courses and the different tasks that you have to complete. But yeah, it's one of those where I think a lot more kids need to become adopted or become familiar with that earlier in life. I wanted to start this because I have a couple of nieces now and I want them to start really getting involved with that. How you can go and support me and or support this brand and understand why I built this and why I want this to be the next Gymshark one day.
Have you been able to go check out a Ninja Gym yourself?
I have not, which is something I plan on doing because I live here in Dallas, and so like the closest one is like a few like 10 miles away. But I certainly plan on doing it because I want to start checking out these facilities and doing it myself. It's just one of those things where I'll go to the gym, but I know I need to switch it up a little bit with obstacle courses because that's something I've always like really enjoyed myself. I definitely need to go check one out here soon for sure.
There are a couple in your area I know of, and I've actually been to. You should go check out Soar United, the Dallas area. We actually hosted a big ninja competition there a couple of years back. I think that once you get into the ninja gym and you're gonna have a whole new perspective of that failing forwards mindset because that takes that out of the mental like in your head and it puts it in front of you physically and that has its own challenges to overcome with that, but it's a really great opportunity to work on that failing forwards mindset, and I think that you'll really love it. Thank you so much for coming on, sharing your secrets and telling us a little bit about you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.